A little bit of an update. So I've got the, can you see? So we got the feed block mounted. It's not as center as what it used to be, but this is gonna be the best spot for it. So there it is. Time to run all these wires, get them up in the loom, and get them all connected. Yeah, get all these guys where they need to be. All right, we got one of our front harnesses through the firewall. This is the coolant oil signal wires. I broke out the alternator battery wire, and then now we just got to get where the headlight splits, and then just kind of route it to each one of their corners. Sorry for the video being choppy, but we got the front harness coming through where the rest of the harness is going to be. There's the battery. This goes to coolant and oil, but the way it's got a route, either behind the engine or, I mean, it's definitely not going to make it in front of the engine, but or over the engine. Probably not going to do that, but I might have to extend those wires. But then down here, got one headlight bucket routed out. I have the horn poking through on this harness, which goes to the next headlight bucket. So now I need to jump in the car, try and start moving the tail harness to the back. What to do is try to get that, which is the tail section, into this channel and ran all the way back to the trunk so that we can have fuel pump, sending unit, and tail lights. After struggling for probably about 2 hours, I finally got the tail section harness into the channel, which I had to chunk it over behind this panel right here. And then when I had it fished through the panel and kind of popped out right here next to the power cable, I was able to pull it all through. And now the next thing is I've already got this panel kind of separated off. The seat kind of popped up, and I have plenty of wiring that'll get us to all the way across. So then pretty much the next thing is to get it fished through this section over the wheel well. Before I do so, I'm going to double check the fuel line, make sure that the power for the control pack doesn't need to be extended. Alright, so basically I just zip tied the end of this thing and put a little long link. This is basically what I'm using to fish this on through. It's working so far. Okay. So should have a little bit more room to work with. Alright. There it goes. And we're off. The tail is now wired through the door seal. Now I've got to get it past the quarter window. I have to get it past this quarter window and into the wheel well. Let's go pop the trunk and see if I can get the rest of that. Actually, check that out. Phew. Easy as can be. Gotta pull it back through. Look at that. Jeez. Alright, let's get that untangled. Alright. This isn't one thing I want to practice, so let's get this right the first time. And get this all finished up. Alright, so once again, gotta take wiring and go try to avoid any of the window mechanisms. Stupid trunk. I can pull it on through. All right. Got it. And there it is. Okay. Yep, that's all tucked. Perfect. So now I can start putting my interior back together. Door seal, the little linings, I can put my seat belt back on, get the window crank back on, the seat back in place. Whew. I'm liking this. And because this trunk slams down, gotta get all this wiring put up in here. I'll gently close this. Don't need to be slamming all that. Alright, so let's back here because I want to try and split out the harness a little bit. There's one I'd like to locate. I'd like to try and find, yeah, there it is. So number one is this wire right here is going to have to be extended because this is for the Ford control pack. This is the Ford the wire for my fuel to turn my fuel pumps on. So I'm going to need to get some green wiring, extend this guy. But what I did want to do is I did want to get the zip tie, because as I split these guys out, I'm going to zip tie them off, and that way they don't go back to the sheath, but they don't kind of go anywhere else. So basically we've got a tail section. Actually, I'm trying to think of where the best spot. It seems like maybe like a little bit after this tail light. That way I'll have slack. So I don't know if you guys remember a couple videos back, but I got this notepad and I jotted down all the details of what wire I was disconnecting from which wire where. And so this right here, just as expected, I was not going to remember all these connections and exactly how the whole car laid out. So right here we have driver tail light, the sequence, and we have passenger tail light. We're on the passenger side. So basically I know what goes to which. Bada bing, bada boom. This came in handy. So just remind you of this pro tip when you're rewiring a car. This probably isn't a bad idea. Unless you're like completely starting from scratch, which I'm not completely from scratch, but boy, what was this helpful. So all right, now for the passenger side tail light, I'm going to need a blue, which, oh no, I'm probably gonna have to resheath and unzip tie these guys. There we go. So now this will be a real nice clean wiring over to the fuel pump, the fuel sending unit. Alright, so went on the old harness, pulled off the orange wire, which is the brake light, I think, and third brake light, yep. And I've extended a kind of a splitter here using the old wire. That way I have enough to go to the driver's side, and I have a connection already made here at the passenger side. So now I just need to solder this in and button it up. Alright, we've got this all nice and organized. So first I'll shoot is going to be to the fuel pump power and fuel the sending unit. Then it comes down the line. And here is, okay, so here's the first split off. I'm out of wire loom, so I can't loom this up, so until more shows up, this will be exposed for now. But this is my reverse lights, and then this is ground for dome light, which is the white wire here, and this small stretch goes to right tail light, and then we got the extended left tail light. Then these guys, this is the ground to the fuel pump and sending unit, and then this is the power for the microprocessors inside of the taillights.